So, what motorcycle YouTube channels do you watch?
Hey Stana, great question. Hi everyone, this is Robb from Intended Consequences. On this episode of Pursue the Ride, I am going to tell you my top 5 YouTube channels for motorcycle and motorcycle related content. Hit the graphic. So if you've never researched it before, there is a lot of motorcycle content on YouTube. And to narrow this list down to my top 5 was pretty much of a challenge. So what I did was I asked myself if I could only pick 5 channels to watch on YouTube and I could only watch those 5, who would I pick? And I thought about the criteria and I decided, well, I want to watch people I relate to, people that have a lot of good, useful, positive content. And I also want to pick people that also support new rider community and maybe some other charitable projects. So that's how I narrowed it down to this list of 5. And honestly, I could have done a top 10, I could have done a top 15. There's a lot of great content on YouTube, but I wanted to just kind of streamline it and keep it precise. So I settled with these 5. All right, guys. Number 1, Fortnite. For anyone who watches YouTube for motorcycles, this should come as no surprise. His videos are outstanding, they're educational, there's always something to learn, and it's always delivered in an engaging way that really teaches you a lot as a rider. And that could be a new rider, intermediate rider, or even experienced rider. There's always something to be learned from a Fortnite video. He's based out of Canada. He does a lot of videos on gear, on riding, on tips and tricks and mods and just basically everything you can think of. And again, it's solid stuff. His videos are so good that when he releases a video, other YouTubers create videos about his video, which there's no higher compliment, I guess, as a YouTube influencer than to influence other YouTubers. So well done, and that's why that's my number 1. Number 2, Yammy Noob. So I started watching Yammy Noob a long time ago. He did a lot of content specifically aimed at new riders, kind of a meme machine, kind of silly, real sport bike focused. But over the last year or so, he's really expanded his content to not just new riders, but all riders. He's hired some help, so he's got some other guys on board, and they just deliver videos pretty much every day, something every day. And it's almost unanimously useful in some sort of context, either biker news or biking tips or different types of motorcycles. As near as I can tell, they're the first website to give away motorcycles to new riders, and that's kind of expanded even beyond beginner bikes to now intermediate and even more expert bikes. But they give away motorcycles, and that's pretty cool. I registered to win. I haven't won, obviously, but I'd love to win one of his bikes. But Yammy Noob, good stuff. Number 3, Dan the Fireman. Dan Fireman, obviously he's an ex-fireman, ex-paramedic, maybe he still does it on the side, I don't know. He's an MSF coach, and he runs his channel full-time now. Really good stuff. What I like particularly about Dan the Fireman is that he's basically an MSF coach in your back pocket. So he'll pick up videos on the internet and will review them. And during these reviews, he kind of breaks down what goes right, what goes wrong, and these are like accidents or near misses, and he'll sit there and he'll explain, hey, this rider did this correctly, or this rider did this poorly. And it's absolutely just phenomenal stuff. He's also giving away a motorcycle. That's pretty cool, but that's pretty new. But again, his breakdowns of other riders in action is absolutely top notch. There's probably no other YouTube channel where I apply what I've learned specifically from his videos while I'm riding the bike. Flawless stuff. He also rides with one hand and talks with his hands, so I feel okay with that. Don't judge me. Number 4 on my list is Moto Sarge. Moto Sarge is another Columbus vlogger, similar to me, only he's much better. And what I really like about him is he's in the Army as well, and he's into photography. So he mixes his love of motorcycles and his love of photography, and mixes that up. So on his channel, he goes lots of places, takes lots of beautiful photos, and talks about how he kind of mixes these two things together. At the same time, he's involved with a thing called Operation Therapix, and what that is, and I'm probably going to do a poor job describing it, but what that is a nonprofit organization that engages with veterans and gets them into photography. So it gives them a reason to get out of the house, go out, have a youthful hobby, kind of see the world through the lens of a camera, and it can help them with a variety of issues. I have a soft spot in my heart for veterans, obviously, so anything that positively influences or affects veterans, I'm going to be all for. So check out Moto Sarge. Alright, number 5, last but definitely not least, is a channel I just recently started watching, as a matter of fact, called Motojitsu. And Motojitsu is out of California, and it's basically like a riding program for new riders and then for current riders to keep their skills sharp. I'm not too super knowledgeable on the program, but what I do know is in these videos that Motojitsu puts out, there's a heavy influence, or there's a heavy presence towards practicing and training and increasing your skills and confidence while on the road. And that, quite frankly, is right up my alley. I appreciate that. He has several tips and tricks that I've never seen before that I thought were really interesting. So I'm definitely a new fan, a new subscriber in the grand scheme of things to Motojitsu, but I would still recommend it. Like, I've not disagreed with anything on that channel. So check that out. So again, why do this video? Why come on here and basically say, hey, thanks for checking out my video, but it's probably better you go check out these other guys' videos. The reason for it is I want you guys to know that it's not really a competition. I'm not competing with any of these guys. Yes, with the exception of Moto Sarge, these guys do this stuff full time. It is their brand, they're monetized, and they make their living off this stuff. But that's not a bad thing. Like, congrats to them for putting themselves out there and doing it successfully. They've been making videos for years. They didn't start out like a company or a brand, and they're doing great. I'm not trying to compete with them. I'm not even jealous. If anything, at Pursue the Ride, we're inspired. You know, these guys are out there, they're making good content, they're teaching, training, educating, having fun doing it, making jokes, encompassing all the positives of the biker community, and I really just want to spread that. It can get overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff. I have a list of 20 websites that are like my honorable mentions, right? Like these aren't the only 5 I watch. I watch a lot of people and have a lot of great stuff. But my point is get out there and learn something new. Yami Noob tilts towards sport bike community, and that's great. I don't know much about it, so I learn a lot. Dan Fireman does a lot of MSF perspective. I'm not an MSF rider coach, so anything that he could provide, you're getting is basically just being able to watch a rider coach and get knowledge directly from some of the best in the business. That's fantastic. Fortnite, man, Fortnite knows everything about everything, man. Just go watch Fortnite. So there you have it, friends. Those are my top 5 motorcycle YouTube channels. I hope you found this interesting. If you did, hit that like and subscribe button and keep the rubber side down, and I'll see you next time.